Here with us now for a bit of a deeper dive, I'd like to welcome in Axios Arizona reporter Jessica Boehm. So, Jessica, thank you for your time. You were certainly the perfect person to talk to about all of this. As we know, as you know, Harris and Walz are in Arizona. The ticket obviously hoping to continue riding the momentum. We're seeing these huge crowds at their rallies so far. We also know Arizona has a very high Latino population, and both campaigns, as we just heard there in Robert's report, have criticized the other on the topic of the border, of immigration. Let's listen to some of that.
I went after transnational gangs, drug cartels, and human traffickers that came into our country illegally. I prosecuted them in case after case, and I won. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk.
Border czar, she's been the worst border czar in history, in the world history. I think the number is 20 million, but whether it's 15 or 20, it's numbers that nobody's ever heard before. 20 million people came over the border during the Biden-Harris administration. 20 million people, and it could be very much higher than that. Nobody really knows what the number is.
All right, so now border czar is a title that Republicans have given her, but are we going to see a change in messaging from either side, considering this is an issue on which Kamala Harris has been repeatedly criticized?
Absolutely. And I would say, even before Vice President Harris took the top of the ticket, it was something that Joe Biden was really struggling with as well. I think what's important to note about Arizona is that we are capable of having more nuanced conversations about the border because we actually live on it. And I think voters here are eager to hear real solutions, like actual things. Unfortunately, so often when we talk about immigration, it's done in a very hyperbolic or anecdotal way. And Arizonans are frustrated about the border situation, but they actually want to hear real policy plans. And so I would expect both candidates to try to, get to a point where they are having more nuanced conversations about what is actually possible instead of just lamenting the fact that this crisis is occurring.
And Jessica, to kind of expand upon that a little bit, do Arizonans feel like they are hearing real policy plans, real potential solutions from either side?
Not yet. I think that's really like the frustration for a lot of folks is, and not that there is none, but there was a bipartisan bill earlier this year. There was some energy around that, and that obviously fell apart. There isn't something to point to say, like, this is what we're going to do specifically, and that will alleviate the real impacts that states like ours see. So I do think that as we look forward, Arizonans are not you guys mentioned the McCain Republican thing. We are kind of notoriously difficult to crack. But that's really because folks want to they want to understand and hear real solutions. And at that point, they can make their decisions.
So let's talk about another Arizona politician talking about Senator Mark Kelly. He was a top choice for VP pick. Obviously, he was not chosen. Is that going to be a problem for Arizona voters?
I don't think it'll be a problem. I think there's some immediate disappointment. He is very popular here. And I think just the unusualness of how public this VP search was. It wasn't just we knew Mark Kelly was on a list of people being considered. We believed, at least, that he was one of 2 or 3 top candidates. And so I think there are folks disappointed about it, but Senator Kelly has been adamant about supporting the ticket. And I do think, on rare occasion, is the vice president going to be the reason you do or don't vote for someone? So, there might be some immediate sense of sadness, but I think people are probably going to get over that.
All right. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.